All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the July Chamber Connection. Essentially, this is an orientation of types. We offer these every other month, and we do update them as it becomes relevant for different areas. We're always trying to adjust and cater to offer new benefits or new value to members. So we're always looking for feedback. So this is great, even if you're not a new member. It's good for perspectives. It's good for people who have been members but need a refresher. So thank you for joining us today. So just a little background again about the Chamber in general. So if you haven't already heard, but hopefully if you are a current member, you have received your anniversary magazine. The Chamber is celebrating 45 years this year of supporting the Hartford County business community. We are super proud of that, especially coming off of the crazy 14, 15 months that we have all had. It was quite a celebration. So if you haven't received your anniversary magazine, if you're a member, definitely let me know so we can get one sent out to you. But we were chartered in 1976, so 45 years. We currently represent 554 is what we just ended our most recent fiscal year as a total membership number. So we consider the business itself to be the member. Any employee can participate, which is different. Not all chambers are like that, but we really want to have that engagement at different levels. Obviously, the CEO and maybe his interests are not going to, or her interests are not going to be the same as someone who might be more on the front lines. So we want to make sure that we give the opportunity for everyone to kind of get involved, with our information or participate, and that can look different for everyone. We're a trade association, which is very different. So we're not a 501c3 charity as most nonprofits are. And I think people think we're not tied to the government either. That's another common misconception. The trade association piece is obviously we're made up of businesses, and there is an advocacy piece that is specifically tied to that C6 designation. So we are able to get involved in certain legislative activities, limited, but that's kind of what sets us apart in that designation. This is not an all-encompassing photo of our board of directors, but this was taken just in June with our new members of the board. We have 23 in total. That represents that governing board of directors. And two people I want to point out in particular are Patrice Riccardi in the center. She is with Freedom Federal Credit Union, and she is our immediate past chair. Gentleman to her left is Lee Tayson. He is with Liberty Mutual Insurance, and he is our current chair. Something that was very different for the chamber is normally we have one-year terms for our chair of the board, and with the pandemic, we kind of changed things up, and both Lee and Patrice agreed to a 2-year term. So they are just going into their 2-year as of July 1st. From the team perspective, we're growing, so this is going to change. In the future, if you come here, you'll see more new people, which is exciting. First and foremost, Angela Rose. She is our president and CEO. We all have our different specialties. Obviously, since we are a very small team, we have a lot of cross-training and collaboration, but at the end of the day, we all have our specialties. Hers is really that advocacy realm and strategic partnerships at a higher level. So if you are having some sort of legislative focused issue, concern, something that's affecting your industry that you need some extra support on, she is that person to go to. Or if you have a very high level strategic partnership opportunity that perhaps you want to present to us and see if it's something we may want to get involved with, go to Angela. All right, then you have myself. All things recruitment, retention, so pretty much anything membership, with the caveat that if that is marketing, we have our marketing guru. I don't plan or don't put out there that I know much in that realm, but anything else that is membership related, feel free to contact me. And then we have a initiative, a standalone 501c3 that is Venture Access. That is the entrepreneurial small business support entity that is run through the chamber, and that is something that I oversee. So there are volunteer and sponsorship opportunities, as well as some potential feature opportunities as a business owner that are available under that umbrella, and that is something that I can handle as well. So Kate Rodriguez handles all marketing communications for not only the chamber and our personal socials and the information that we're putting out, but for you as members. She handles all of that coordination, giving advice as to, what kind of content that you would like us to promote, where that should be relevant. She works very closely with Rich Bennett, who's joining us this morning, that you'll hear from later, with regards to a podcast opportunity that we have that is free for members to take advantage of to promote their business or the role that they have in their organization. So Kate is amazing at that. You may get an email. I don't know if you may see Miss Bev, as I call her. So this is actually Angela's mother. She's volunteering with us. So Miss Bev helps me with a lot of membership. So she does a lot of emailing and just contacting, making sure that she's answering questions or following up, and she helps us with general operations as well. So, and we currently have an intern. Her name is Chloe Meyer. She is helping with our Connect program, which is an initiative that is educational based. So really it's a comprehensive educational hub that unites students, businesses, and educational institutions to highlight all the opportunities that are right here in Hartford. Anything from internships, apprenticeships, events, trainings, to actual employment. But of course, as I mentioned, as a trade association, we represent members, and that's you all. So
thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Joe Tabling. I'm the Senior Associate for CQI and Associates. We're an energy management and consulting firm, and we provide one of the chamber member benefits that you're here to mention.
My name is Kelly Pugh, and I work for APG FCU as their business service manager covering all of Hartford County.
And APG FCU is also another cost savings partner, a newer one that we just added. So.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Bland, and I'm the owner and founder of Phoenix Speech Therapy. So we provide speech therapy services for adults, teenagers, and children in the comfort of their homes, as well as executive function coaching for students and adults with ADHD.
My name is Nicole Korski. I am with the Alzheimer's Association. We are an organization committed to education, care and support and research for people living with Alzheimer's or dementia. And if anyone is interested, I'm going to drop my email in the chat. We are hosting a virtual corporate event on August 4th about caregiving in the workplace, people who are caregivers who are in your employee force, and how you can better support them.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Monica Whirl. I'm the Business Development Director for APG Federal Credit Union. Credit union membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, or goes to school in Hartford or Cecil County. And I am not a new member. I am a long-established member, but I join these chamber connections because I think you can't go to them too many times. And I think it's a good opportunity to learn everything the chamber can offer you. So you're here this morning for the first time, or you're here for the 15th time, you're going to walk away with something you didn't realize was a resource for you at the chamber.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Burke Bowers. I work for Hartford Credit Union. I run the business banking division here. Anything business related, investment real estate related, commercial real estate related, happy to help with. Heather and I also volunteer with the Academy of Finance at Edgewood High School. We're working on a pretty cool business plan program where we're going to help a small business work on a business plan to make them bankable. So if you know of anybody in that space where maybe they have a business that's a year or two old and need some help getting a business plan written, please feel free to reach out to either me or Heather. We'd be happy to discuss the services Edgewood High School has to offer.
So hi, my name is Anthony Jefferson. I'm an Army veteran and managing partner of my business HQ Financial based in Baltimore City. We provide marketing and sales to help other minority business owners with more distribution sources to expand their brand. We do it by allowing our partners to focus on their core competencies and skills while with our increased reach, we broaden retail sales and provide customer service. A little bit more about myself. I work on APG as a system administrator.
Oh, put the Marine after the Army veteran, right? Let's see how it is. First of all, Anthony, thank you for your service, man.
Yes.
My name is Rich Bennett. I run Hartford County Living, also host podcasts, also host the Chamber podcast, the Hartford Business Beat. and also co-chair of the membership committee.
The next go around, it's crazy season in the catering business. So I'm Bob Sansberry. I'm currently with White House Caterers at Overhills Mansion. We're in Catonsville, Maryland. That's near BWI Airport. We are a 3-generation family-owned farm-to-table catering company. I'm the corporate sales manager here, director of business development, and also in charge of mansion restoration and preservation. I've been living in Harford County with my family for 20 years now and doing the 45-mile each way commute down to BWI almost every day, 5 days a week. So I'm looking for a new opportunity in Harford County. And so I've been joining in chamber events. I've been connected with some business opportunity networks. I attended the BRN meeting, which is at the chamber headquarters. That was just the other day. So a lot of things are happening, but I'm looking to connect with someone who is looking for that outbound person, that person who will be your eyes, your ears, and your mouthpiece, that goodwill ambassador to promote your business, not the hard sell. I'm all about building relationships and not about necessarily pursuing transactions. So it's that kind of that long term and that long goal of getting to know your business, getting to know your clients, and expanding that client base. So if you are looking, or if you know of anyone who's looking for a director of business development, please think of me, and I drop my chat information right in the line. I have over 30 years in the catering, hospitality, and food service industry. So it's a very high touch, very people-centric and oriented business that I'm in.
Let's get into the nitty gritty of why you're a member, what you have access to, and kind of what that means and what we as a team do on the daily, because we are lucky to have a full-time team. A lot of chambers are volunteer or part-time. So we're definitely very thankful that we have that opportunity. So pictured on the screen are essentially everything that we do. We organize under 6 different pillars of work. We tend to stress a couple of these a lot more than the others. If you've heard us talk about where the ace in your deck of cards, we tend to really stress that advocacy, connections, and education pillars quite the most. Business promotion is kind of a given in terms of a membership association, and obviously we want to promote and support you. And then I mentioned the cost savings partners that we have. 2 of our programs here today, and we'll get into those, as well as strategic partnerships that I kind of mentioned in terms of some work that Angela oversees directly. I just want to get into, really I touch on all of them in this presentation, but a couple I'm going to stress even more. Advocacy is always the first one because I don't think, it's not glamorous, let's be honest. A lot of people confuse the word advocacy with politics. That's something that I've had a lot of conversations on recently. If you're familiar with some other chambers, even in our area in the state, some of us are really at the forefront of advocacy, whereas others are not. And sometimes that's not always received positively because it is so tied to legislative processes, and that tends to get overshadowed by this term politics. We will only ever take a formal stance on any sort of legislative issue if it is truly detrimental or truly instrumental for the business community, and that's our Harford business community. So we toe that line very carefully. If you're familiar with some of the things that went down last General Assembly session, the major tax legislation that was introduced for digital products and services, that is something that we were very vocal about because that is a huge impact to local businesses. As much as it may have been targeted towards the Netflixes of the world, there still are plenty of implications for you all as small business owners. So just talking a little bit more about advocacy, essentially what we do is take a lot of that work out of it for you. So rather than you trying to rifle through 3,000 bills that are being presented every January in Maryland and Annapolis, Angela goes through those on a weekly basis. She'll kind of pick out the ones that really we need to inform you all what's going on. And if necessary, we'll try to get you engaged. We save you time. So in that regard, obviously about not having to go through everything, we also save you time. We try to button that information up in a very succinct, easy to understand summary that we send out weekly in our Chamber Chronicle. And Angela saves you time too by acting as a representative on your behalf in Annapolis if we need to make commentary or give examples of how that is impacting our businesses. At the end of the day, they really do want to hear from you. So we'll save you as much time and energy as we can, but sometimes they just want to hear from you as the business owner or you as the business professional. So we try to give opportunities to bring you with us, but then we also have local events just to be informed or get involved. And we have a really great relationship with our Hartford County delegation and even our state, some of our state delegates. So we encourage those interactions. And we also do have a partnership with the Maryland Chamber. So if you're a member of our chamber, you have 10 or less full-time employees, you are eligible to have access to a free Maryland Chamber membership as well. So we have sort of an automated process of identifying who those individuals are. That information is pulled from the application, so definitely make sure that those numbers are accurate, and then we will contact the Maryland Chamber, let you know that you're eligible, and then they will reach out. And on the connections side, a lot of what people see as connections, I think, is easy to understand. It comes through events and sort of in-person opportunities of network development. So I'm going to talk about a few of those that are currently available to you. Coffee and connections. I know we love the word connection. Don't get confused. Chamber connection, orientation. Coffee, if we're talking coffee, we're talking network development. So coffee and connection is every single month throughout the year. It is always on the third Wednesday of every month from 8 to 9 in the morning. And it is a very simple, informal business card exchange. We have been holding them in person now for quite a few months. That was kind of our first event back with the transition. So the upcoming one for this month will be July 21st, and then we'll have it again on August 18th. And that is open to anyone. It's free. We just ask bring business cards so you can exchange them, and we will actually also scan that information and send it out because, again, we want these connections to be formed outside of just that hour at the event. You can come to as many as you want throughout the year. There is no limit. Something that you should put on your radar, but we don't quite have a specific date or place just yet, is what we refer to as our networking at night events. So these are another instance of an informal network development, but it's for those who maybe can't get out during the work hour and want to get out just for an hour or two after the work day. So they typically take place anywhere from about 5 to 8. They're usually at a member business. So if you're interested in hosting a business after hours, there is a sponsorship available that we can work with you to get on a list and see what we can make happen. But we are planning for one of these in the August-September timeframe. They're usually either free or a very nominal ticket that includes some light refreshment, beer or wine, just to give you an idea of what that event setup typically looks like. Something else to keep on your radar is Eggs and Issues Legislative Breakfast. This might kind of change depending on what's going on. Obviously, we have some local elections. We're in the process of campaign season, so that will factor into some of this advocacy and legislative event opportunities that we have available. But something that we have done is trying to get ahead of when General Assembly session starts in January, because really at that point, the agenda is already known. The delegates and the legislators know what priorities they're going to push. So we try to get ahead of it and talk and give you those opportunities to say, hey, this is of importance to me. Is this something that we can address in this legislative session? Maybe it's a year ahead. But again, it's really getting on top of things before it's already sort of too late. So that event typically is held in like September timeframe, and we have done it as a breakfast. So stay tuned for some information with regards to what will happen there. And then we are changing things up a little bit this year. Usually we always do a Spirit of Thanks recognition in November in combination with Veterans Day. It's an event, or it's not really like an open event per se. It's really meant to give back to active duty, retired, and veteran personnel. We have taken them on trips to the 9/11 Museum in the past, Gettysburg, just as a thank you, and again, honoring all of those that have served. And this year we're doing it a little different. We're having a networking type of event to celebrate again and say thank you. That will be in September at Hopkins Farm Brewery. So stay tuned for more details there. That will be open, I believe, to anyone as well. So those are just some things we have on the horizon. in terms of events, Bob mentioned the Business Resource Network group. So also as a way to make connections, but more specifically on an actual referral leads side of things, are 2 leads groups that we have available. If you're a member of the chamber, you're eligible to explore any openings that exist with these groups. They are industry specific. So if your industry is spoken for, there won't be openings, but a lot of them try to make some accommodations. We have, business banking versus residential banking options. They'll make those designations to try to fit as many people as they can. They really operate like families and generating support and referrals and word of mouth. So they really are great opportunities if that opening exists. And if you're curious, I can connect you with the presidents of each group to identify if that opening is available and to get you in and be able to shadow and meet those individuals before they go through any formal approval process. The HBN group typically meets on Wednesdays every week, and then the BRN group is a Friday morning meeting. All right, we went over advocacy connections, touching on education. So we do this in like a couple different ways, or what I house under education. Connect is our nicest, newest initiative that we launched, I think it's about 2 years ago now. And that is, and I'll actually bring up the website. This is the Connect website. Again, as I mentioned, it's really an educational hub for students, might be looking for an internship, an apprenticeship, a job, for organizations or businesses that are looking to promote an opportunity that they have, and then educational partners who want to get some of the business community involved, maybe as speakers, or Burke had mentioned the volunteering that we do with the Academy of Finance at Edgewood High School, excuse me, or making the businesses aware of other opportunities, even from a funding perspective. There's a lot of movement, especially with, if you're familiar, this push for PTech programs and getting kids from ages as early as kindergarten to have a real world career experience every year throughout their education. So there's a lot of push from a funding perspective to create these opportunities for all types of kids at all levels and ages. So as much funding as we can raise as a whole business community to perhaps create opportunities for these students and to have them be paid and have that working experience for career and college readiness, that is something that's very important to us. So if you're curious in the future to take a look at the website and see kind of what's out there, the opportunities that exist, that is something that we're really passionate and proud about. Venture Access, I kind of mentioned already. It has been a standalone organization for quite a few years, but as of February 2020, we signed an MOU with Harford County Office of Economic Development and Community Development to actually power this entity. So it has changed up a little bit. So it is its own 501c3, but is run through the chamber. So essentially what I do on the daily is make connections with people who are looking to start a business. Perhaps they've started, but are in that early stage of trying to put together a business plan. Maybe they're a year in, but they're moving and they need some help with specific areas. Even seasoned business owners that are perhaps looking to grow, maybe experiencing some challenges and looking for resources in the community. So there's different stages, and really all stages of business, that we can assist. And we are a resource triage entity. So we ourselves do not offer any direct services currently outside of ribbon cuttings for grand openings. We're working on expanding the services that we will offer in the future, but there are so many other amazing organizations that we have right here in our backyard that offer free services for help. We always make sure that we send out at least one email a week. We try to limit them, and it comes out on Tuesdays. Is referred to as our Chamber Chronicle, and that is our newsletter. It always has, again, a succinct amount of information. We really try to cut it down and organize it by advocacy, connections, and education. So you know what's going on, what's most relevant. That is the most real-time information that we can send. So let's talk about a couple more opportunities specific to you. So getting involved, volunteering, just being a part of the community. We're definitely expanding the opportunities that we have. Obviously, we're business focused at the end of the day, but being a greater part of the community and having that greater impact outside of just the business community itself is very important to us. Getting noticed. We want you, again, to be known in Hartford County. So we want to be able to promote your business, let everybody know what you're up to, what services you offer, what products. So that is important. We have plenty of ways of doing that. And then who doesn't love savings? That's where the cost savings programs come in. So we'll talk a little bit more about each of those. So here is your easiest way to get involved in terms of chamber. We have several committees and groups. They all focus on different things. They all meet at different times, and they're pretty once a month. You know, there's not a huge expectation or heavy lift. Some maybe more so than others, but again, it's based upon the time that you're willing to volunteer, and we're just appreciative of any time that you devote. So we have our Business Development Special Projects Committee. Pretty much they do event planning for the chamber. So in a normal year, we organize about 45 events. So we're talking at least one event a month, upwards of 3. So if you're an event planner, you're creative, you got lots of great ideas, maybe you have time, you want to help us set up for events. We bow down to you, would love to have you on the committee. Military Affairs. This is a partnership that we have with APG, with our DoD community, to really bridge that gap between the business community and what goes on at APG. We want to know those individuals. We want to know the great work that they're doing over there. We want to be able to share that and encourage collaboration. So they really work hard to not only have events to partner and recognize the great things that are happening, but again, also to give back to that population that has served us. So that is the Military Affairs Committee. Education, very much so involved with the Connect initiative and also with the scholarships. So we do have an education foundation tied to the chamber, separate 501c3 that we raise money for scholarships each year. They're $1,000 scholarships that we give to graduating seniors, some adults, a veteran, various categories. So that committee also evaluates and collects those applications each year to honor those recipients. Government Affairs, again on that advocacy front, that committee has a lot of great representation. So you will see individuals from all of our main municipalities, from our state legislation, local delegation. Really, they give updates. So if you really want to be in the know in terms of what is happening behind the scenes that we don't hear about, or you don't want to wait for the Aegis to publish an article, join the Government Affairs Committee, because you'll probably learn a lot more than maybe you wanted to learn. But I think it's important to be informed, especially if you are, not just working in Hartford County, but even if you're a taxpayer. I really encourage, something that I took for granted before I started working for the chamber. And I might be biased, but membership development might be my favorite. That's my committee. I have a really good group of people that help me with that recruitment and retention. We're always talking about ideas of ways that we can better help you all as members and what can we do. So if you're interested in joining us, they do a lot of heavy lifting. If I have to give credit to one specifically for the amount of work they do, I've got to thank my committee. They make phone calls to new members. They reach out throughout the year. They really engage prospects. I mean, they're doing the most, and I'm very appreciative. So our committee is a little weird. You can see we meet different times in even versus odd, because obviously this event sometimes clashes with our standard meeting time. So just be aware of that. And then a group that we have, not a committee. The difference is that this is open to chamber members and non-chamber members. So really, to be participating on a committee, you do have to be a member of the chamber, but to participate in the Hartford Young Professionals group, it's open to anyone. And that is not to be confused by the name. There is no age limitation on that group. Really, their focus is on growth, connections, and community. So they do a lot of professional development, a lot of network development and connection, and happy hours and mini golf tournaments, and bonding through Chamber Olympics, a lot of fun things. And then they're really focused on community too. So they want to volunteer and give back. So they do some group volunteering for various nonprofits around the community. So if that's something that appeals to you or somebody in your organization, make sure to reach out and we can get them the meeting time. Sometimes they do change. They don't necessarily always have a meeting per se, because it might be last month they met at Hopkins Brewery just for general networking. So let us know when we can get those individuals on the email list to make sure they're getting the updates. So that's getting involved, getting noticed. Obviously, if you're a member of the chamber, you get automatically put into our membership directory. That's online, it's updated in real time. So make sure that your information is correct, but we will send out a static PDF version every quarter. If you're a member, you should have just gotten that yesterday. We just sent that out. I always encourage people to make sure that their information is up to date because a lot of people take that for granted or things may change. We're in a very crazy world. So always check your directory listing. Make sure that you're also utilizing as many fields as you can in terms of description. If you can link out to websites, there's a couple different ways, and I've mentioned I've included here a standard versus an enhanced version of a listing. So this is standard. So at the very least, this is everything you should be making sure that your listing has. The name, your category that you would like to be in. If you need the category changed, you have to let us know. I don't think it'll let you change it. Your address, your contact phone, your website, your hours, and about us. You are limited in terms of characters for that about us. And then if you have socials, I encourage you to utilize every little aspect you can. Now the enhanced version gives you a little bit more. So you've got logos now that are up here. Some of this is not just enhanced version. So let me go in. The about us is longer. So you do have, now you have the opportunity to include links to take the person out to specific areas on your website. This is not specific to the enhanced version. This is something that everybody can do. If you want your information out on the web page so that somebody can say, okay, I need a services and I'm in the Amiclay area. So, oh, assistant branch manager is Linda and there's her phone number. You can put that information out there. It's up to you to choose your display preferences. So APGFCU just likes to have, their various branch managers out there. So if that's something you want to do, that's a possibility. So again, take advantage of all of those features, because if somebody's looking at your listing on the website, you want to make sure that they're able to reach you. Getting noticed, ribbon cuttings. Obviously, if you're a new business, we want to celebrate that. But if you have done a remodel or you're expanding really in the way of location, then we will do free ribbon cutting services for members. We also offer them under Venture Access. So again, even if you're not a member or if you know of an organization that's looking for those and they're not a member, we can still offer some of those services under the Venture Access umbrella. Great promotional opportunities. We get you connected with a lot of the key dignitaries as part of those ceremonies. And we even have some press contacts that we can provide if you wanted to send out like a press release and hope that it gets picked up in one of our local papers. The portal. I want to show you this after I run through just these overarching features that are available. Account management, obviously the easiest thing. We just talked about the website and your directory. The way that you would update that is through the portal. You have to have a login. If you do not have a login, please make sure that you contact me so I can get you set up and get you all the materials. You can do all sorts of account management, pretty basic, but it has so many other cool features. If you are looking for a certain product, say you want some branded pens, perhaps you need a service. Unfortunately, things happen, you might need a plumber. We always encourage, if you could utilize another chamber member, A++. So there's a form that you can fill out to request these services to go through the membership. Click the category that is applicable and it'll send that request out to every member in that category. And that way they can directly follow up and provide quotes. So it's really that fellow chamber member support, and it kind of makes it easier for you to do. Job postings. If you're hiring, it's another channel for you to put that out there. It goes on our website. How I found my chamber job. Obviously, I am biased, but I'd like to think that, again, people coming to our website are a very specific populace of people. So think about that as, because of that being some sort of different channel. It's obviously not like a LinkedIn. We're not getting tons of crazy random traffic or Facebook, but you know, it's a very specific business oriented population that's already visiting. So you might get some great candidates from posting the job on our website as well. Hot deals. If you're offering a product or service, you have some sort of discount or savings that is for the general public, that is a hot deal. So that will go up on the website. The news release feature, kind of like a press release, but really just an avenue to publish information. If you are offering a new service, if you just won an award or recognition, if you're having an event, all of that can just be housed under this feature. Again, it gets published to the website. A lot of the stuff too, if you send us the content, Kate will create a corresponding social media post so we can really blast it out across a bunch of different channels. But these are easy things that you can do on your own by just submitting through the portal. They're all a form and they all do have to be approved. Events, this will go on our community calendar. We have a couple different calendars on the website. The community calendar specifically is the one that advertises all member events. So that is where, if you submit, those will go. Anything from open houses to fundraising events, virtual, in-person. Really, there's no limit there. Member-to-member deals. These are specific discounts or services for other chamber members. So these will not go on the website. These will only be visible in the portal because, again, it's specifically for those that are chamber members. And then there is a version of the directory. So you can go on the website and look at the membership directory, but when you're logged into the portal, you get a lot more information. You're able to leave reviews on certain chamber members. There's so many expanded opportunities that exist with the directory that is housed inside the portal. I know I'm running down, but I don't have too much, but I do want to quickly show you. This is what the portal looks like when you're logged in. So I'm logged in as myself. This is the general homepage. For the most part, most of the features that we just went over will be off to the left here. Well, you'll notice events is pretty much the only one that exists up at the top and with the directory. But they're easy forms. I'll just go to hot deals really quick, just kind of show you. You'll always come to sort of generic page. You can see that one of our members has a hot deal up currently. You wanted to add your own. You always look for these blue buttons, add hot deal, and it's a general form. Try to fill out as much as you can. Be aware sometimes with certain submissions, there are two different versions of like start and end dates. I would always suggest that those be the same. You'll see down here it says publish date. Make sure those dates are the same, because if you start something but you don't publish it, it won't show. And I will look for these things as I go through my approval process, but just in case, we're all human, we all make errors, just in case we miss it. And notice, let's see, if you click events, ours, you will see green register buttons next to. If it's something that you want to get involved with, the cybersecurity is a member event. So you can kind of go in here and search around if you want to add your own. One thing that I didn't mention, but is also valuable, is this resources portion. We try to house any sort of information relevant to your membership benefits here, so that if you need to go back and visit it, it has documents that you can download, might be a video. There's a member badge if you wanted to put that on your website that says I'm a proud Harford County Chamber member. Things like that are housed under that resources section. And then, like I said, if you wanted to update your company information, all of that is here. Go through, make sure that looks okay. If you want to add employees, you go do that here so they can get set up in the system as well. They can get on our email list. I want to go to personal. This is where if you click, let me go back to the home page so I can show you. Personal, obviously your information would pop up. If you go to display preferences, this is where you can determine if you want your information to show up on the web. So I have my name up there, my title. Your email address is not actually displayed on the public website. It gives them a clickable form that they can submit and it'll send directly to you, but it will show up in the portal so that another member could actually see your email address. And then you can choose a cell phone, social network. So this is where you make those designations that you saw with the APG FCU listing. So that's a little bit about the portal. Last couple things, marketing. Again, this is Kate's expertise, but I want to touch on it and I will follow up with some key documents afterwards. These are different ways that we offer marketing. So let me go back. The first, just some examples, sponsorships. Obviously, those are always available. They're usually tied to events. There are some that are tied specifically to Connect or Venture, which are more of those initiative-based sponsorships. Just ask us. I'll send you a document that will outline those that tend to have more sponsorships available. So just to give you an idea of what those possibilities could look like. Social media, Kate does some standard free things to help promote members. If you're new, we'll send out a little post every month indicating who the new members are. She does a member of the week. If that's something you want to be featured on, it's free. There's tons of opportunities. She also works with a WHGM Gold, which is an FM station out of Haverty Grace, to do our Chamber Chat radio show. Smaller, 5 to 8 sort of free segment. You control the content. And I don't have a picture of the podcast up here, Rich. We're going to have to change that.
That's all right. I see how it is.
Right. But obviously, she works with Rich Bennett. We have a podcast specifically called The Business Beat that Rich mentioned, and that can be anywhere of upwards to like a 45. I don't know. You've done a lot with some people.
Yeah,
I know you
vary
had
anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. So, and again, content up to you. Rich is amazing in terms of a conversationalist, making you feel comfortable. So he and Kate work to coordinate those as well. And I've got the socials on the bottom. We will always promote anything member related for free. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, those are our top 3. And obviously we can make sure that we're targeting the right audience depending on what that information looks like. And I'll send you the complete breakdown of all of the marketing opportunities in the post-event email. And last but certainly not least, again, let's talk about those savings. We're really proud that we have these opportunities that we can offer to the members. We have 13 cost savings programs now, which is amazing. I think when I first started with the chamber, we had like 4 or 5. And we've had some really long-standing partners, CQI being one of them, that have always been amazing. We utilize them ourselves as the chamber. So, and we can get you connected with other chamber members who are utilizing some of these services if you're curious from that peer-to-peer perspective as well. So I've got a couple clips. These are all of our programs. So APG FCU, I want to give some quick time. I know we only have like 2 minutes, but Monica, Kelly, did you want to mention anything specific about the APG FCU cost savings program?
Sure, I'd love to. We took a theme of save, borrow, learn. So everything you can do at the credit union, those are great focuses for us. We're going to help you save money. Where if you need to borrow money, we're going to make sure that interest rate is as low as possible so that your wealth gets to stay with you. And my favorite piece of this program is the financial wellness platform that we're providing. It's a co-branded platform that you can work on at your own time, at your own leisure. You'll have your own login. It'll take you from marriage to divorce, from babies to how to plan for a funeral and everything in between. So if anybody would like to learn more, I'd be glad to show them through the system.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bay Group, obviously you can see kind of the main heading. So long-term care insurance. We have a partnership with Constant Contact to save you some money with the email marketing platform. Joe, obviously representing CQI, Energy and Sustainability Management. Say that times 5 times fast. I can't even say that. Joe, did you want to add anything in addition to what you had mentioned earlier?
Yeah, it just, I want everybody to understand, it works on the principle of aggregated buying pools. So we take everybody's usage that's on this meeting today, other members of this chamber, and members of 22 other chambers. and we use that leverage to get a rate lower than what you can get on your own. 99% of the time, the savings covers your membership dues. So all the other incredible benefits you heard today, you're now getting for free. There's no enrollment cost whatsoever. It is for you, your family, your staff, and your staff's family, all at no charge. The savings is there. I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but rates are going through the roof. You think rates are high now. The utility companies are now updating rates every 2 weeks, where in prior years it was every 90 days. So if you want to get some stability, you want to get an idea of the savings, check the chat box. I will put my information there. Love to help you out. Thanks.
Freedom Federal Credit Union has some checking, credit, refinancing programs and opportunities. We have a dental and vision through group benefit strategies. GTB, if you're in need of phones and internet service, they are a cost savings partner. If you are selling your house, we all know how great the market has been for selling, or even if you're buying, we have some real estate cost savings program availability with Maxed Out Home Group. Digital display advertising with niche marketing. And then the last four, these are our, well, actually, we added like 5 just this year. But from promotional products, working with Pro2 Marketing Group, if you're familiar with Tom Kunkel, Serenity Salt Spa. I think this is something, the topic of wellness, especially in the workplace, is not something that I feel like is widely talked about. So again, from an employee motivation, especially after the 15 months that I keep harping on, they've been so crazy, give your employees a treat day. So there's some spa and wellness cost savings programs through Serenity. Office supplies, we're really big. I know Staples is a nationwide company, but we are huge in terms of supporting the store that we have right here in Bel Air. So that program directly does benefit that local store and those local individuals that are working there. And then wallet-wise, the cost savings program involves personal financial coaching. So not your financial advisor, but really your personal finances, whether it be, helping your kids save for college, looking at different ways of just making your home budget efficient. She has a lot of great insights. So go to the website quickly. There's a page right here at the top. Each of them has its own landing page with expanded information, contact information. So make sure that you check those out.